Morning, South Africa. UIM election live, 9 o'clock Friday morning. Just going to give it a few minutes for people to log in. So, yeah, let's just, let me just put my, okay, that's off. Bit of technical setting up here. So, good morning, everybody, to this beautiful Friday morning in Cape Town. I'm here at the head office in Somerset West. And we have a National Working Committee meeting this morning. We have our Vice President here, Fatima Abdul. We have our President, Dr. Neil de Beer here. We have our Secretary General, CEO, Jacques Tallard here. We have Christy Jonk, National Working Committee and NEC member from Mossel Bay, Eden District here. We have Klaasie Viljoen, our NEC member and coordinator from Man Huang, the Free State here. Yeah, don't know what happened there. So, yeah, so we have quite a few of the NEC members here today, and we have our President, Vice President, and Secretary General here. And we'll be discussing some very pertinent matters. And today is a big day. I don't want to say too much just yet. We're 81 live at the moment. We normally get to about 150, 200 on a Friday morning. So let's give it a few more minutes. And yeah, today, like I said, is a big day. I don't want to say too much just yet. But we are awaiting a very important decision that is going to impact or influence what happens from here going forward in terms of the elections. I was up until 1 o'clock this morning going through quite a few things, and yeah, quite an anxious day today because the decision today could have far-reaching implications. I'll explain that in a few minutes. But either way, whatever the decision is today by the Constitutional Court, the IEC is going to have to make an announcement today because it's an emergency decision, and the UIM will be aligning ourselves. Whatever decision is made, we will align ourselves and we will make sure that we are ready to go to the polls, be it October, be it February, and we will take the fight to the ballot box. It's a very exciting time. 136 live. We'll give it another couple of minutes. History being made because the UIM will be contesting its first local government election. In 2024, obviously our first national, that's the big one. But then we'll have 2 years or more to prepare for that. So this is really a foundation. It's a stepping stone for us. In relative terms, we're a new party. But I think in the short period of time that we have been in existence, we've achieved much. And, you know, that's all thanks to God Almighty. You know, this is not a religious session, and, you know, but I speak from the heart that it's no secret out there in the public domain that we are embracing. You know, the UIM is made up of multiple faiths. And, you know, we are respectful of all that come to the UIM, but we walk in faith, you know, and we trust in our path is in God's will. And, you know, when you walk in God's will, no man will stop you. We have detractors out there. You saw the other day I did a live where somebody made reference to our entry in the government gazette and said we were another party, not the UIM. It was really silly. But we will have The enemy will continue to attack us, but you know what? We are resolute in our determination to bring change to South Africa. South Africa has spoken all over the country in every province. They have given the UIM a mandate, a voice to go to the elections and to get our votes and to tell the structures that we are very relevant and what we have South Africans wanting us to represent them. So I'm going to get into the message really soon, and we're 165 live. All I want to say to all of you that are on this chat is the UIM will always have detractors, will always have enemies, so to speak. Every party has that. But we are here for the people, a party of the people, by the people, and for the people. And I, of all people, and I say this humbly, can make that qualifying statement because I'm the National Election Coordinator. I deal with the ward candidates firsthand. So I know who's coming forward. I know what kind of people are putting their hands up. And it's not people with big, long degrees and deep pockets and fancy cars. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with being successful or being ambitious. But the people that are coming forward are people like you and me. They're South Africans that are rolling up their sleeves and saying, you know what, if the politicians with all the fancy credentials can't bring change to this, meaningful change to this country, or then let South Africans bring change to this country. Let us make the difference. And the UIM is going to be a unique entity within the political landscape. And over the next 5 years, you're going to see that. And that's only going to augur well for us going towards the 2024 national elections, because people are going to see firsthand that the UIM is not just lip service. We're not just giving you a marketing package. We speak from the heart. So guys, 165 live. It's almost 9:10. I can't speak long this morning because, like I said, we have the NEC here. Quite a few of our members here. We have our president, vice president, and SG here. I think from 9:30 we will be in session, so to speak, and we'll be dealing with some important matters. But throughout the day today, we will be keeping an eye on the 10 o'clock court case at the Constitutional Court. So that's in about 50 minutes. The IEC will be arguing their submission at the Constitutional Court. Now, what is this court case all about? Well, in terms of the Constitution, 90 days after a 5-year term has ended from the last election, when the councillors have served for 5 years, they have to be replaced 90 days after the 5-year term. And that takes us to the 27th of October. So we have to have elections legally by the 27th of October. But because of the fact that we've had unrest in KwaZulu-Natal and the country within itself has been destabilized, the IEC felt there was a in-depth report put together, the commission, and they said that South Africa is not ready right now to have a election. Now, South Africa, for the 183 of you that are here live this morning and the thousands that will see this video after it's rendered onto our page or pages, are we ready to go to the elections in 6 weeks' time? We just had major unrest in KwaZulu-Natal. Do you think that province, which is our third biggest province, is ready to go to the elections right now? Well, I don't think so. I think if we had to have elections in KwaZulu-Natal right now, they won't be free and fair. Administratively, it will be an absolute nightmare. Elections are difficult to run as it is, but imagine running it so soon after what's happened in KwaZulu-Natal. We also have talks of possible further unrest in KwaZulu-Natal. The date of the 23rd of August is being sort of thrown around on social media. So how could we possibly go into an election in the next 6 weeks when we have all of this on the table right now? There's too much destabilization in the country for us to have an election right now. So the sensible thing would be for the Constitutional Court to rule in favor of the IEC and to say, order is granted, the elections will take place at the end of February. Now, this is what it means to us as the UIM. This is the huge fundamental difference. If the court case today is unsuccessful and the IEC cannot have a postponement, then the elections will take place on the 27th of October. But what that means is that our party lists, in other words, our candidates that are going to be on the election polls that are going to stand, we have to submit those lists on Monday before 5 o'clock. Can you imagine the administrative process that has to take place over the next 72 hours to have all our candidates on the party lists, all the documentation in place, fees paid, everything submitted to the IEC by 5 o'clock Monday afternoon? And we're not the only party that's facing that bottleneck or that situation. But if that is the case and the IEC is unsuccessful, the UIM will work right through the weekend. We'll work with all our hundreds of ward candidates and our metro coordinators and regional coordinators, and we will make sure that we get all that documentation in place and submitted to the IEC so that we are in the elections. Whatever happens, whatever the outcome is today, the UIM will be contesting in mid-October, and we will have our candidates submitted on Monday by 5 o'clock. It's going to be a lot of hard work, but you know what? That the hard work is what the UIM thrives on. Now let's look at the opposite of that. If the IEC is granted an extension till the end of February, what does that mean to us? Well, it's massive. It's massive for a number of reasons. The most important one for me as a national election coordinator is that it then takes our timeline from Monday 5 o'clock to the 24th of November. Now let that sink in for a minute. Monday 5 o'clock versus the 24th of November. It's a huge difference. It's 3 months, more than 3 months will be added onto our timeline, which means we can go out there and we can go and recruit further candidates, bolster our soldiers, as we call them, bolster our representation in the wards, and increase our chances of putting UIM flags all over South Africa. So, to be honest with you, on a personal level, I would love for there to be an extension. It'll just give us more time to recruit, to canvass, to expand our footprint throughout South Africa, especially outside of the metros, because we need to bring change to all of South Africa, not just in the major metros. There are people in the outlying areas, like in Eden, Northwest, in Mpumalanga, the outlying areas. They also need change, and the UIM, we want to change South Africa, not just the cities. So if we do get an extension, we get an extra 3 months. And just to give you guys some, I love my stats. In the last 10 days, we received, now bear in mind, we've been recruiting candidates for a few months now. In the last 10 days, we have taken in 25% of our total candidates came in the last 10 days. That's a quarter in the last 10 days. That's incredible momentum. That is since we've announced that we're a party, and that is since Jacques and Neil went to KwaZulu-Natal. We've had an unbelievable response from the public. And that for us is further confirmation and a mandate that South Africa wants the UIM in governance. They wants to see this emblem up against the ANC, the EFF, the DA, and so forth. The UIM must come in. It's the only way we will have change in South Africa. So today at 10 o'clock, in another 43 minutes time, that court case will commence. We're having an NEC meeting in our boardroom, but we'll be keeping our eyes on that. As soon as that announcement comes, our president, Dr. Neil de Beer, myself, and will possibly be a few of us sitting around that table. Our CEO will be there. Our Vice President, Fatima Abdul, will be there. We will make an announcement to you guys live to say what the outcome was at the IEC ruling. I'm not a gambling man, but I think we're going to get a postponement. That's my opinion, or for whatever it's worth. Maybe that's my heart talking. I don't know. But I really hope we get an extension. And we will bring it to you live. And if we do get an extension, guys, we've got 3 more months. You can see my email address is pinned at the bottom here. Sydney, our Chief of Staff, has pinned my email address there. I get WhatsApps, phone calls, emails, right through the day, into the night, early hours of the morning. I don't get back to you necessarily within the hour, maybe not even on the same day sometimes, but I promise you within a day, 48, 72 hours window maximum, I at least respond in some way or form. And, all I can say is, South Africa, it's up to us to bring change to this country. We can't rely on the structures that are there because they've been there for 27 years. We need to reach out. If you know somebody that you feel could be a ward councillor, and I need to stress this, a ward councillor doesn't have to resign from their daytime job. That's a misconception. In fact, even on the IEC website, they clearly state, ward councillor is something that you can do in conjunction with your mainstream career. So whatever you're doing as a 9-to-5 job, you can still be a councillor. Obviously, if you're going to do that, you mustn't neglect your responsibilities or your ward or your people. You will only know within yourself if you can juggle those two. And be honest with yourself when you put yourself forward as a ward candidate. If you feel that the task is too great, then don't stand as a ward councillor. But I've had people ask me, candidates ask me, can I do this and run my whatever business? I say, only you would know that. But in principle, yes, you can. And yes, it is a salaried paying job. It pays fairly well, but it's not about the money, is it? Yes, we all, times are hard and people have been through the impacts of COVID. So some people are honest. They're unemployed and they want to be ward councillors. Nothing wrong with that. And they'll ask and they'll say, I believe it is a paying position. So yes, it is. But that must never be, please, never be the reason why you want to be a ward councillor. You do get remunerated for your time and your effort, but it's got to come from the heart. You got to do it because you want to do it. So guys, we've got 9 minutes left, and then I will be morning Eugene. Eugene is one of our NEC members. Eugene van der Westhuizen out there in Mpumalanga. Speak to him often, regularly. A real asset to the UIM. I see Christian Hayes here, our NEC member and coordinator out in the Northwest. So guys, I know you've all got your own busy days ahead of you today, but we will bring that announcement to you. For all those ward councillors that might be listening here today, please just be at the ready. If the announcement comes, we are going to have to get all our names in, our forms completed within 72 hours. We're going to work through the weekend. We're going to be phoning you, emailing you, the coordinators. We're going to be on your backs, making sure that you're checking up with your candidates in your regions. Because whoever doesn't comply with us, whoever doesn't give us what we require, unfortunately, you're going to fall off. Your name's not going to be on the candidate list. And South Africa is going to lose a UIM flag on the election. So do it for your people, guys. If we ask you to sign anything or send us any forms, please make an extra special effort this weekend, because we may be up against the wall if the announcement comes in of a non-postponement. So guys, exciting times. We're getting ever closer. And I must just tell you that we have, in the last 2 weeks, our ward candidates have increased dramatically. How's it, Basil? I see your thumb there. Basil is one of our NEC members, and he's out in Nelson Mandela Bay. They are currently our biggest metro in terms of support. We have just about almost every ward covered there. We're very excited about Nelson Mandela Bay. We're going to make strong inroads, impact into that metro. So yeah, just to come back there, in the last 10 days, 2 weeks should I say, we've had tremendous response in terms of our ward candidates. I'm processing ward candidates every day, and we've got some amazing people that have come forward. We've got people of faith, and we've got people in industry. We've even got a ex-Bafana Kaizer Chiefs soccer celebrity that has come forward as a ward councillor. So we have some really, really good people that have joined the UIM, that have put their hands up, that are going to be fighting with us in the trenches when the election time comes. And guys, it's very, very exciting, because we don't have to win every ward. I'll do another live and go a bit more into the difference between the two votes. You get 2 votes in the metros. You get a ward candidate vote, and you get a party vote, and that goes to the proportional representation vote, as we call it. And 50% of the councillor numbers come from the ward vote, and 50% come from the PR vote. So even if we don't win wards based on the number of votes that are cast collectively for the UIM, we will get a percentage of the PR seats. So either way, you're going to start seeing this beautiful UIM emblem in council very soon. And it's, for me, what's really exciting is when we're going to start seeing change, when we're going to start seeing the ANC and the EFF being challenged by the UIM to bring better services to local councils. If you're driving in your car and you see potholes being filled and you see grass being cut, and you're going to know it's because the UIM is making sure that the taxpayers' money, capital, one of our C's, that money that's been deducted from your hard-earned salaries, that's going into the government fiscus, is being spent properly. Because South Africa, if the truth be known, we have enough money in this country. Yes, our economy has been hit by COVID and etc., but we have enough money in this country to fix all these things. Okay? If you take all the money that gets squandered, just the other day our president was talking about this new power plant that exploded, and they have to now spend another 2 billion rand. Can you fathom? 2,000 million rand. You take a million and you times that by 2,000 and you get 2 billion. What could you do in this country with 2 billion rand? Imagine how many potholes you can fill. Imagine how many houses you can build. Imagine how many clinics or schools you could build with 2 billion rand. And that's just one occurrence. A power plant that cost 120 odd billion to build, that blew up. So South Africa, it's time. It's time that we vote and we take our country back piece by piece, and we rebuild it so that in 5-10 years' time, our children, that the youth of this country, have something to actually to live for and not want to immigrate or go overseas. So anyway, it's 9:27. This is what was going to be a short live. Thank you all for tuning in. There was almost 200 of you here this morning. Keep your eyes on your phones. We will be coming to you live as soon as that announcement is made. Big decision today, but we're moving forward. And like I said, either way, whether elections are going to be in October, whether they're going to be in February, we're ready. We're ready to take on the opposition.